self-proclaimed governor of Mid-Missouri, and he's the host of TTBS, the podcast. Here's Tom Bradley.
Thank you, Nikki Garman, and welcome to it. Live from Truman's Bar and Grill. And I got to tell you, we got a couple things coming up this morning that are really cool too.
Very cool
to get into. Oh, and I want to say good morning to a fellow St. Louis, and I don't consider myself from St. Louis. I consider myself from Webster Groves, a suburb of St. Louis. But I knew the greater area and was all over the place. I mean, if it was part of the St. Louis Metro, I was involved in those things. And here's the deal. We talked about some stuff, and it brought to mind a thought. When we get to our Improve I-70 update this morning, I would like to share a story from my childhood I've never told before on the show in 40-some-odd years of broadcasting.
All right.
And I think it'll be worth
Can we call that an exclusive?
Yes.
This is an exclusive.
Now, that's not to be confused with the exclusives that subscribers to the show receive.
Ooh.
Now, I'm so high and mighty to think my shit don't stink. We just started with Facebook subscriptions.
Yeah.
Can I do that with YouTube also?
I don't know. I've never done it yet, so we can play with it though.
I think we should. Look, if people are going to pay me money, I think we should.
Absolutely.
And I think people do want to pay me money.
100%.
And so we'll give you some exclusive stuff behind the scenes. Over here to my left, we have Ellis Bennis from FloatingAxe.com. Working your butt off for your clients lately.
I'm trying.
Why are you working so hard, man? Settle down.
I have 4 kids and a wife.
So it's all about supporting?
That's right, man.
Is that what it comes down to? Truman's, by the way, we mentioned last week that they have a band coming up. It's actually going to be the Ben Osh Band, and it is on June 13th. You would know that 13th. Going to musicbeagle.com. And concerning that, we have kind of another announcement or two coming up.
Very exciting.
That'll be brought to you by Creekside Pet Center. At the end of the podcast today, obviously, we will have brought to you by Family Focus Eye Care. Keep your eyes on the crap. Keep your eye on the crap, and it will be fun. Our guest today, we have 2. First of all, Karen will join us in a moment, and then Mizzou basketball legend, inspiring force behind Camp Bowers, and a fundamental component of the Columbia community, Elbow, Lawrence Bowers.
Nice.
And he'll be joining us in just a little bit. Did you see me give him a hug when he walked in?
Yeah, man.
I'm not used to hugging men around the waist.
Yeah.
But when a basketball giant like that walks,
it's so good to see you this morning.
What am I supposed to do? The next time I see Lawrence Bowers in public, I'm going to jump up. Like if we're at the grocery store, I'm going to jump up on the checkout stand.
There you go.
And then I'm going to look him in the eye and be like, what's up, bro?
And then I'm going to look him in the eye. We're finally eye to eye, man.
And I will go from there. So he's going to join us as our main guest coming up.
That's awesome.
In just a little bit. In the meantime, let's get to a couple announcements. Announcements this week brought to you by Creekside Pet Center, releasing the hounds, and also at Bed and Biscuit and Dirty Harry's in Boonville.
Did you sustain that pained howl?
Yeah.
Did you change that?
No. Sometimes he's hurting.
He sounded like he was in more pain today
than
usual.
He's hurting more than others.
Which your pets will not be in pain if they're at any of the Bromance locations.
Yesterday, this is a true story. We were at Logboat Brewing in the afternoon. And you know how many dogs love to be out there.
Oh, yeah.
We've always taken our family, all of our dogs out there, just like Creekside Pet Center.
Yeah.
It's all about loving these animals. And at one time, Aaron Fox, the author, Foxy Fox, he gave a howl. I don't remember before. I think we were talking about Music Beagle, and he goes, "Oh!" And I heard a dog start getting pissed up on the balcony.
That's like, hilarious. You're going to start a howl.
And I said, do it again, man. Do it again. But it was great. Thank you, Creekside Pet Center, for all you do for all of our pets. MusicBeagle.com. Now, you can find live music like never before. It's immediate. It's based on where you are and today's date, including future dates as well. But if you go, is there any live music near me today? We're putting together the community. We're only a few days into assembling this, and that brings us to the next point. Could you tell Karen that it's probably time for her to...
Karen, we're about ready to jump on here with you.
We're about to bring that up as she is our focus now. Karen Getz from the Dive Bar in Columbia. Good morning.
Good morning.
It's quite a week for you, isn't it?
It has been a week.
You work your ass. How many hours did you sleep last night?
About 4.5.
What did you get?
She sleeps less than me. I think I got 6 or 7. Yeah, 6, 7. Sorry.
You were right in that whole thing.
Does he? I don't think he has young. Do you have young enough kids to get the 6, 7 thing?
I have grandkids.
Yeah,
I've been
but are they smarter than to do math?
I've been aware of this for, I don't know, 6, 7 months. No. It's been out there. Karen, you work your ass off all the time. You got more stuff going out there than is. You got Silver Ball. You've got the kitchen and all the catering out at the Elks Lodge, and all the kitchen great food coming out of there in the evenings as well. You're taking care of a fraternity over on campus, and then every day of the week you're running the dive bar over on the Loop.
Yeah.
How do you do all this?
You don't sleep.
Yeah, she just said she sleeps 4 hours. Sleep less than me.
And
Oh, man.
somehow you managed to get the accolades that come along with it. What did you get last night?
We won Best of Columbia, Best Bar.
Wow.
So the dive bar won, right?
dive
'Cause
bar won.
He just named 6 businesses, so we had to clarify which one won.
It
the
was
dive bar.
The dive bar one. It was. I got the email on that about a month ago, a little over a month ago, and at the bottom of the email it says you're not supposed to share this with anybody. Of
yeah.
course, what do? I run straight into my kitchen, and I'm like, "We won!" And I'm like literally in tears. And Sean,
my son.
your son, was there, and he's like, "What? What?" And I'm like, "We won." And he goes, "What did you win?" And I'm like, oh, "Best of Columbia." And I mean, even now, it's just like the accolades that go with that, and that, I think Heather, who does my marketing, may have sent out one post that said, "Hey, we would love for you to vote for us," but it wasn't an everyday thing. It wasn't something that we were driving people to, and maybe we should drive people to it more. But we just hope that the merits of what we do will get us the votes, and hopefully we win.
Seems like it did.
And it did.
That's
and
awesome.
I was just, even now, it's really, really cool.
Well, you become a place that we love to come out and haunt on a regular basis. I remember when you guys were building the patio. Mm-hmm. I remember you had a live band scheduled.
Uh-huh.
And the morning of the live band coming out there, you had like a third of the paving stones in. I swear to God.
It was.
I looked and I go, and you're like, we're going to get it done. I'm like,
and we did.
and that's when I left. I was like, I'm not going to be here.
Well, we did. It was also, this is actually really funny. My sister and her husband, they were doing their wedding celebration, reception, whatever you want to call it, party, whatever. I don't know.
The thing that happens after the idea.
The thing
Whatever
that
that's
is.
called.
It's the pre-consummation. That's what I always refer to.
That's a new phrase.
But they were we were hosting that night, and I'm like, yeah, we're gonna get it done, and we did.
That's
and I
awesome.
mean, it was not only did my team help, but then finally the contractor that was supposed to get it done, he finally showed up, and he made what we did like that took a week. I mean, I'm pretty sure he did it in 15 minutes, and I was like,
Did you have like the kitchen and serving staff out there laying
oh yeah, we
paving
did.
stones?
Oh, I mean, Lee Roberts, we call him Fireball affectionately, and anyone that comes in, if you. People tell me I've got a grumpy old man that works for me. And let me tell you, he can be the grumpy old man.
Yeah.
But he's fantastic, okay? Lee Roberts, that circle that's out there, he was figuring out how to put that circle out there on that patio. And him and a couple other people, they got that done. And
That's
it was
cool.
so cool. And I'm like, really? You did that? And he's like, yeah, look at that. And I'm like,
Coming soon to the
damn.
dive bar hardscaping.
exactly.
I mean, it was unbelievable. And there's so many more things and facets to Dive Bar that you guys have had. And I don't have to read this anywhere because Deb and I and our family, we've lived it. I mean, the brunches you brought into the Saturday and Sunday mornings, all the live music, including inside on the wintertime. What are you laughing about?
Nothing says dive bar like brunch.
Yeah.
Those don't seem like they would be conflicting elements.
You
right?
go out there on Mother's Day
That's
and
so
you're like,
cool.
we'd like a mimosa.
Actual.
Wait, doesn't dive bar and mimosa not seem like they belong in
know.
the same sentence?
I know.
Other than
Welcome.
no, you can't get a mimosa.
But I mean, you could be a gang of
Would you
us
like a Bud
guys.
Light?
We've ridden up there on Harleys, thrown the kickstands down, walk in, have ourselves a beverage, and walk out and keep on riding. Or we get there with the 3 generations on a Sunday and enjoying a brunch, and all the live music, the whiskey tastings you have once a month. I mean, it's really amazing what you've done. Thank you for joining MusicBeagle.com. You're going to be posting all your acts at MusicBeagle.com. So when people are running around, they're like, I don't know, what should we see tonight? I'd like to catch some live music. They'll go there, they'll hit it, and the paw print will come up, and it'll say, here's who's playing tonight at the dive bar. I was estimating to someone last week, are you guys, during the busy season, which we're in now, do you guys have about 5 or 6 music acts a week?
We have 1, 2, 3, 4. It depends because even on Saturdays, sometimes we may have 2. So I would say 4 to 5.
That's
Okay.
impressive.
Yeah.
Holy
I mean,
cow.
it really is.
Yeah.
It really is. And sometimes it'll be a solo act playing inside or playing out
Yeah.
on the
Like
patio.
last night, Dennis Lane was out on the patio. Wednesday nights, steak nights, we always have music.
You
know,
know,
it's
or it
great.
could be a full band like Sea Rock City
Yeah.
jamming out there all night
Yeah.
long. I mean,
That's
it's
awesome.
really tremendous.
Like Flyover Countries, they're this Saturday.
There you go.
I mean,
And I want to ask you this too, and I don't want to get too deep in the weeds, but how the hell do you guys find all these music? I mean, obviously, Flyover Country, Sea Rock City, we know them and they're
Yeah.
from the area. But what are these other people I've never heard of?
it is. So I'm very fortunate. When we first started doing the music, I started booking the music. And then I had some great people that have worked for me over the years. JT, who was our first chef, but he was a musician. He's part of the Barroom Billies. Fantastic guy. He's like, Karen, you're doing it all wrong. You got to do it this way. and there's this way he says my name, Karen, listen. And I'm like the whole listen, Linda. Like, I'm like, okay, JT, whatever. And he was like, you got to do it this way. And he left us. In fact, it was really, I just posted something. It's hard to believe he's been gone 5 years. He's at Blue Note and Rose, and he runs their sound and all kinds of different great things. But we are actually hooked in with some really cool people that work in the music industry here in town. And I've got an amazing kind of manager that helps me book this. Her name's Luna. And between Luna and Heather, we find great talent. People email us. They send us stuff. We get a lot of stuff coming in from out of town. You just, it's unreal.
And will you guys actually take, like, let's say, I will not be, but let's say a new artist wants to break. Can they, like, call the dive bar and be like, hey, we'd really like to do this? Or do you have to, like, reach a certain level before
No.
you're good enough for dive bar?
In fact, I love, think of the Bernie sisters.
Mm-hmm.
They were playing at the dive bar. They're playing at the Blue Note at the end of the month.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I mean, there's some of my favorite.
I mean, and that's a full ticketed pre-sale event going
Yeah.
on there. So that's a big step.
That's
mean,
really cool.
Yeah.
I mean, and you watch that dynamic of people growing. Jim Quisenberry,
Uh-huh.
who played for Jiminy Crickets. Why cannot I think of? Anyway, phenomenal musician. He came to me and he was talking about
A Primitive Soul.
Primitive Soul. That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Primitive Soul. Thank you. But he was like, hey, I think I want to do solo. And I'm like, you're an amazing, talented musician. Here you go.
Cool.
And we've watched people grow.
Yeah.
And it's like they start in the small spots and they do those things. And it's really
I was
awesome.
there one of the first, if not the first night he was out there, and he told me, I'm
As
a
a
little
solo act, like
yeah,
his
and he
first
goes,
night?
and I've watched this guy on stage with his Les Paul and multiple guitars,
yeah.
just whipping the shit out of those guitars.
Yeah.
I mean, amazing. And he goes, but this is me, and I'm
Yeah.
singing. And he goes, I finally realized maybe I should learn to sing.
And he did.
And so he's up there with an acoustic, and he's playing song after song after song. And it takes a lot of practice
Oh, yeah.
to know how to croon over those chord changes and everything else. Comes real naturally to some guy who's been out there doing this since he's 12. But Jim was out there with a lead, and when they'd get to, when Dan Jacobs would get to the break in the song and be like, wow, and then that guitar would come screaming in.
Yeah.
It was amazing. And you gave him the shot to do this. He was driving in from Kansas City to play here
At
one
Dive
night
Bar.
a week and then driving back that evening.
Yeah.
Man, that's boss.
I know.
It's so cool.
Well, thank you for joining musicbeagle.com. And I really, this is very important for anyone paying attention, which is this is a living, breathing website, and it is the community. It's you wanting to see live music. It's people like Karen and her team at multiple venues, but especially Dive Bar, that are bringing live music to us, and this is a way for us to bring it together. So if you have a concern about Music Beagle and you want to talk to us about fixing, changing, modifying, talk to us about it.
Absolutely, yeah.
But please follow, and if you have an establishment, by all means, get on there and subscribe.
Or if you're just an artist, too, because it's artists or
That's right.
venues, both. So, like, Dive Bar, obviously, they don't move, right? They're sitting there. They're in one
Yeah.
place. But the venues, not the venues, the artists, they move around. So
do.
if you want your people to find you, because Facebook's algorithm, we
Right,
love
it does it-
Facebook's algorithm,
yes.
but it's not for, like, immediate find this right
No,
now.
it's
But
not
you
built
pull
for
this
that.
up, your people are going to find it.
And by the way, Jim Quisenberry needs to sign up because we just gave gave him all kinds of
Yeah. Come on, Jim.
love over here. Karen, we got to jump because we have our other guest coming on, and we're looking forward to speaking to Elbow. But thank you for making it in. This is so great to see you, and I don't know how you're keeping up with everything. I'd offer my service, like to go cook for you in a kitchen or something, but I've seen you put people to work, and I don't want to lay the next patio for you guys. So
Her job descriptions read like psychotic.
right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Keep up the great work.
It's good to
Thank
meet
you.
you this morning.
We'll
Nice
have
to
a
meet
beer
you.
with you
Man.
very, very soon. That is absolutely awesome. So I think what's really cool, Ellis, for you and I and for Foxy, is to be able to see something like this come to fruition.
Oh, yeah.
And I've been involved in so many different startups. Not all mine, but some have been mine. And I think the amazing thing that I didn't understand when I was young is if you dream it, don't stop. You might want to take the next step
Yeah.
and make something actually come to fruition, come to existence
For sure.
in this world. And sometimes it'll fail.
Yeah.
I was talking to somebody yesterday at 1 Million Cups. They said VCs, venture capitalists,
Yeah. Like our guest we had on
Last week. If they take on 8 businesses, they plan on 7 of them failing.
Yeah, that's what he said. That's crazy numbers.
And that's what they're used to seeing.
Yeah.
And I look at that and I'm like, damn, that is really, really something. Okay, before we get Lawrence Bowers on here, we need an I-70, improve I-70 update. Brought to you by Emery Sapp & Sons, ESS, your locally owned, homegrown, employee-owned. And I say locally owned, that's interesting because they have locations at other places, Arkansas, Arizona. Those are also locally owned because it's employee owned.
Right.
So if you look at it that way, it is the truth. As we get into this, I'll share this quick story. I went and spent the night at my grandmother's apartment in Webster Groves. It was about a mile or 2 away from our house on a Saturday night. And my mom said, yeah, you can go over and stay at your grandma's, but you still have to go to church in the morning.
There you go.
And
Good mom.
I said, Mom, damn. And, okay, I didn't say that.
Yeah, I was about to say, you should say that's your mother, your Catholic mom
My-
who's sending you to church.
My grandmother, who was Catholic, was excommunicated because of a divorce. It was serious in those days. I mean, the pastor told her, you don't get to come to church anymore.
That's
And
jacked up.
I
dude.
know it is. But that was the thing. So I spent the night. The next morning, I told Deb this story about 2 months ago, because I grew up right next to 8-lane Interstate 44 in the heart of St. Louis.
You
and
shared the
suburban
story
St.
where
Louis.
you guys were playing in it
Yeah.
when they were building
Yeah.
it, right?
So I've got to go to St. Michael's because it's the closest church to us. There's parishes all over St. Louis.
Yeah.
You drop a shoe, you're going to hit a priest. So, and I don't know why you're dropping a shoe, but what the hell? So I've got to go, and my grandmother would sleep in on a Sunday morning. So I'm like, Grandma, I got to go to church. She's like, okay, Tommy. So I've got my church-going clothes, and I put them on, including my nice penny loafers. And I got to go traversing over. And I said, Deb, the highway is not open yet. I walked across the highway to get to St. Michael's. She goes, you didn't do that. You were too young. I go, I was about 7. I go, look at the date the highway opened.
Yeah.
I walked across that thing by myself.
Yeah.
So if anybody knows highways under construction, it's me.
Yeah.
So the Improve I-70.
That was a hell of a tie-in,
I
man.
know.
That was a masterclass.
The Improve I-70 update telling you last Friday evening, Emery Sapp & Sons demolished the Providence Road Bridge over I-70. Did
It
you
is
see my video
gone.
report in front of it? Mm-hmm. That video report, there was a storm kept getting ready to pound down on us. And I finished taping, and I ran back down the hill as the rain started pelting. It was like, damn. And I got back down to Black Thunder and took off. They demolished it Friday evening when they closed it down, kept the traffic flowing all during this over the on and off ramps on each side, and west and eastbound I-70. ESS, amazing. By Saturday night, while the sun was setting, the highway was being opened back up.
He said
It was
they
less
shot
than 24 hours.
Yeah, he said they shot for 36, but they wanted less, and they hit less.
Oh, my
They
God.
absolutely hit less. But
Close
man,
to
did
the
you
head of
see
schedule.
did you see their staging? There was like 9 track hose, like parked, just bump, bump, bump. You probably shot your video right by
when
him.
you say
That was-
track hoe, you're not.
the piece of equipment that has both tracks
'Cause I was
and
thinking-
a bucket, also called a hoe. Okay.
I was thinking about maybe the Indy 500,
track hoe.
and some of the young ladies that might venture out there.
That was not to what I was referring.
You guys did a great job. Alex Schwartz posted this at the MoDOT Central Missouri District Facebook page. He posted in response to them, you can still cross I-70 at Providence if you're fast enough.
If you're the Dukes of Hazzard, you mean?
Yeah. Well, last time we saw these
Or you're
boys,
Keanu
they were-
Reeves in a bus.
Yeah. When you are going through the inconvenience continuing to grow in Columbia, slow traffic, long lines, and this is all throughout our city because of all the stuff going on with construction. We like to call it PITA. P-I-T-A. Pain in the ass.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what it is. Ramp closures going on at J and O now along I-70, and that includes rerouting, so detours to get there. And for people that live right off O and J,
I'd live off Jay.
well, that's you might have to drive farther, but for the my God, they've really got to drive a long way.
Yeah.
And so have mercy on the other drivers around you, and by all means, not just driving safe, which I expect you to do, but also drive slower. Slow the hell down. All right, been looking forward to this for some time, probably since the last time we had him on my radio show, which I'm going to guess was 2 years ago. Lawrence
Wow.
Bowers, I called you an integral part to the construction, the fabric of our community. Do you realize how important you are to Columbia?
Man, listen, I'm just doing what I feel like is necessary. I'm doing God's work. This community has poured so much into me and my family that it just feels like something I'm supposed to do. But nonetheless, I appreciate the praise and the high remarks.
Where were you driving in from this morning? Can I ask?
Yeah, dude.
Unless you weren't supposed to be
I'm
there.
a zombie, man. I had a public forum that I had to attend last night in Maryville, Missouri, and that's not close. So I couldn't make that drive last night, so I stayed there and got on the road super early this morning to be here with you.
Oh
so
my
you should
gosh.
feel very, very special.
Yeah, you had to leave what at like
4 o'clock.
4 o'clock. This
Yeah.
Good grief.
I do feel special. I feel like a special asshole to make you to make you come in and do. Thank you for making it.
Yeah,
I
man.
I want to talk about Camp Bowers and a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah.
Were you traveling for some of your other endeavors, or were you traveling for your actual job right now?
So my actual career job, I work for a company based out of Sedalia, Missouri, by the name of Pro Energy. So we focus on natural gas peaking power plants. And with the whole development of all these AI data centers, we're the ones that provide the electrons to for their GPUs.
So this is.
So yeah, this is my career job. I got summoned basically.
I would say the industry is exploding, but I shouldn't say that with some.
Yeah,
of the-
let's use a different.
Yeah, something along those lines. But I was looking this up. I'm not familiar with Pro Energy. It looks like something that we in Missouri, and especially Sedalia, should be very proud of.
Yeah, man, you should be extremely proud of it. The owner, his name's Jeff Cannon. He's a very good friend of mine, very big-time supporter of the University of Missouri. That's where the chains were linked between he and I. And when I decided to get out of the NIL space, Jeff was the first person that was knocking on my door, basically saying, "Hey, man, I've seen what you've done in terms of sales, and I know your personality and how great you are with people. I would love to have you at my company." So he took a chance on me. I took a chance on him, and it's been a match made from heaven. So that's what I do.
I'm nerding out on the website a little bit. They've got some really cool videos on Pro Energy showing the stuff they do.
Yeah, I don't know if you recognize this or not. You can do anything you want to do. You are really something, brother.
Listen, man,
You're such a dad.
There's
You can do anything you want to do.
I am
being a dad myself, man, I appreciate that because I find myself having those same talks in the car.
Well,
like
I was
every
wondering.
morning.
I mean, these must be a hell of a teaching, follow me, learning experience
Yeah.
for the kids to see what you're doing with your life.
Yeah, man, everything I do is to try to lead by example. I'm not a man. I talk a lot, but in terms of like being a man of many words, I'm actually not. I like leading by example. And if you look at my resume since I've retired from basketball, it's pretty versatile, right? I was in medical sales. I went from there to NIL, starting the Every True Tiger Foundation, the agency that's still being used by the university, to being Empower Generation. And
That's awesome.
and the whole time running my own basketball camp. So it's a lot of stuff going on, but nonetheless, my kids, they know that daddy is a by all means guy.
Let me ask you about when basketball came to an end, because I brought this up with Deb a couple of weeks ago. I was talking about my career in radio, the every day a week,
Right.
3-hour show every day, and it coming to an end. It had to happen. I'm like, but I got to go into my 60s. We're about 42 years.
Yeah.
And as I was forced out for changes in lifestyle and technology and everything with people's lives, it makes sense, and I'm very grateful. But I said, try to imagine someone who is phenomenal, basketball, baseball, football, I don't care, luge, whatever the hell it is. You can't last.
Yes, laying down is
Yes.
really.
Yeah, it's crazy
But, I mean,
because
how old were you when you were like, well, I'm retiring out of basketball?
well, my case was a little different, but I think there's a really big misconception. A lot of people fail to realize that a very old athlete is still a very young man or woman.
Oh yeah.
Right? Like
yeah.
LeBron James has been in the NBA for 23 years?
Yeah.
And he's only 41.
Yeah.
So in the grand scheme of life, that's not old.
Yeah.
For me, I was forced to retire. As you guys can remember, when I played at Mizzou, I had a pretty devastating knee injury, and I was able to get 6 years after that knee injury.
Whoa.
Had a really good career, played high level overseas, but I knew it was time. And shout out to the doctors at Missouri Orthopedic Institute, Dr. James Stannard in particular. He put his hands around me during my whole career, making sure that I can get through another season. But it was just time, man. My body was telling me, hey, if you keep playing, yeah, you might make more money, but you're not going to be a good dad for your kids.
Yeah.
You're not going to be able to get down on the carpet and
exactly.
play
Yeah.
with the blocks with them at all.
Exactly.
When you look at someone like a Tom Brady, and Tom Brady kept himself in tremendous physical shape
Yeah.
because he throws so many balls off to the sidelines
Yeah.
every damn play. But I mean, he took great care of his body during all that time, so he wasn't hurting.
Right.
And but it's got to be really tough for him to let that go.
Yeah, it's tough. I've been playing basketball and I played baseball all the way up until college since I was 4 years old.
Oh,
So that's tough. You go from 4 years old. I retired when I was 28. So that was 24 years of my life dedicated to a sport, and for it to be kind of taken away abruptly because of injuries.
Yeah.
It was tough, man. But one thing I always, I pat myself on the back. I was never caged. I never allowed myself to be known as just a basketball player. My whole time when I was at Mizzou, when I was in high school, I was fortunate enough to graduate from a wonderful high school by the name of St. George's Independent School. I always immersed myself in the community. And
So in the school itself, everyone knew you as something more than just a
yeah,
basketball guy.
yeah, I was never. I mean, I was a really good athlete. Obviously, I had multiple, scholarship offers in baseball and basketball, but I just always knew that there was life after that ball, whichever route I went. So I always paid a lot of attention to my academics, and I always tried to be a good friend. And being a good friend has paid off more than basketball has paid off for me.
Isn't that
Nice.
something? I mean, listen to that. What a great
That is a
chunk
great
of wisdom
lesson.
right there.
There's so many athletes, especially that get to those upper tiers, that they just don't have that wisdom.
Yeah.
They're spending money like coked up rock stars, not realizing like I've only got a few years that my body can take this
Yeah.
punishment
Yeah.
until I'm going to be crippled or.
Well,
yeah.
I think I just heard something in this last week. There's something new they're starting at Mizzou. I believe you can help me if you're more in tune with this thing. They're working on the student athletes now to help them with financial education.
Yeah, and
So smart.
it's great to see that because before I ventured out of the NIL space, we started doing it, integrating with Central Bank and Peyton Squires over at Squires CPA. But Chase Kaufman is very involved, who just got in. His name just got on the ballot for the Collegiate Hall of Fame.
Wow.
He's a really good friend of mine, Chase Kaufman, but he is doing a lot of financial literacy and investment management.
Chase was quarterback for Mizzou.
He was tight end.
Tight end. Thank
Chase,
you.
you think about Chase Daniel.
Yeah,
And-
Chase Daniels.
Yeah,
but,
thank you.
But yeah, they're doing great things at Mizzou, man. It's great to see these guys and girls are making a lot of money.
Yeah.
And back to your point, when you don't have a good, circle
Yep.
around you, that's so detrimental.
Yeah.
There's so many people that are in these guys and girls' ears,
Yep.
Giving them bad advice. So
Yep.
that was one thing I was
You know who
always,
you don't take financial advice from? Poor people.
Yeah, you don't. No, for real. People who have never had the amount of money
Exactly.
that you have, they always
Exactly.
have the most to say. So
Yeah, they do.
yeah, man, that was one thing that I was always fortunate enough to have. We might not have had, many things financially growing up. I grew up in Memphis, but I always had really good people, good coaches, great coaches, and mentors. So it all has paid off for me.
This is a great way to move in and talk about you working with kids, because when I listen to you talk about the years, your appreciation, your contacts, what people mean, the community, all the things you branched out, I can barely realize I'm talking to a guy from Memphis who moved over to West Memphis, and you really credit a lot of your saving your life and heading in the right direction. Big Brothers and Big Sisters.
Boys and Girls Club.
Boys and Girls Club.
Boys
Sorry.
and Girls Club, yeah.
Boys and Girls Club. And That's you as a kid, what, 5 years old?
Yeah, I started going to the Boys and Girls Club, I think when I was 4. I remember having to walk to the Boys and Girls Club.
Across the 8-lane highway by chance?
Nah, not that far. Not that far.
Stealing Thompson.
No, seriously though, as a kindergartner, because my mom and my stepdad, man, I mean, life was kind of hard.
Yeah.
And after kindergarten, I would have to walk from school to the Boys and Girls Club by myself. And if I was lucky, I'd be able to walk with a
And it
group
was
of
like
older kids.
8 or 9 miles uphill both ways.
I had to walk with a weight vest
Also,
on.
let's be fair, because him at 6 was probably taller than me now,
I don't
so
know,
the steps were probably shorter.
If you see my daughter,
Yeah.
I got a daughter that just turned 9 years old,
Yep.
and she's about almost 5'6". She
Oh, my
is
God.
extremely tall.
God, another inch and she passes me.
Remi-
So we got that going
reminds
on.
me of myself. So the Boys and Girls Club was very integral.
That is great.
So how integral is that in you deciding to launch Camp Bowers?
Everything.
Everything.
Yeah, regardless, like I tell people, it's not about the notoriety. It's not about the T-shirts, bearing my name and things of that nature. It's literally about me reciprocating the generosity and the extended hands that I received as a kid. So that was really the main focus for me with starting Camp Bowers. And we started in 2015. We're going into our 12th year of Camp Bowers. We started with 100 kids the first camp, and now we're averaging about 580 kids a year. So
That's insanely glorious.
I just Googled Camp Bowers, so it's lbosports.com
That's
/ Camp Bowers. So that's where people should go to learn more
Yep,
about it.
lbosports.com / Camp Bowers,
Yeah.
and then you got / Baby Ballers. But both of those camps, man, they're looking to be pretty much filled here in the next few weeks.
I got to ask you. You mentioned LBO Sports. You go by Elbow with your friends.
Yeah.
I sent you an email, and it suddenly dawned on me. I don't know how the hell to write elbow, because I get the L, the B, and the O, but I'm like, is it capital L, little B-O, or is it all capitals, or is there a hyphen? And I was like, because if you go to LBO Sports, it's just lbosports.com.
Yeah.
So how do you like to see it written out, honestly? What?
It don't matter, man.
come on.
It really don't.
You probably laughed. You looked at mine, and you're like, look at this idiot, how he wrote
Did
out
you spell
elbow.
it out, elbow? That's
No,
what
I
I would
didn't do that.
So,
Well, it's
true
normally-
story. That is what my sister-in-law calls me, elbow.
Really?
Yeah, instead of Ellis, she just calls me elbow. So
That's
we
hilarious.
have the same nickname. We're practically the same person.
That's cool. I got my nickname. I got my nickname from an assistant coach when I first got to Mizzou. His name's Coach. Oh man.
See how the years.
It's been a while, brother.
See how the years
Wow.
track
But
on.
it's LB, right? So Lawrence Bowers.
LB.
But where'd the O come in?
Bowers.
Just LBO,
It's just
L Bowers,
LBO.
okay.
Yeah. First.
So elbow.
So
First initial from my
he
first
was the
name.
first one to call you that.
Yeah.
He's like elbow.
Uh-huh.
That's
Yep.
awesome.
See, and I think we said it the right way.
Yeah.
Christopher Walken would never get it right, but I'm thinking it's like
Elbow.
yeah, yeah. I think it's like, what's up, elbow?
Yep.
Did I do it good?
That's great. So capital L, capital B, lowercase o.
Okay, and no
all right.
hyphen,
No
no
hyphen.
apostrophe,
No.
nothing going on in there.
That's
All
cool.
right.
You can do whatever you want to do, though, bro. We're friends,
I
so
appreciate that.
no worries.
Tell me, we're gonna get back into Camp Bowers here in a second.
Coach Jeff Daniels. That
Oh.
was one of my assistant
I
coaches.
loved him in Speed.
Yes, he was
I
great.
I just could not. I could not think of his name earlier.
Tell me
But-
about your wife, your relationship, your life together. Tell me all kinds of stuff that I've never asked you before about your relationship with your wife.
So I met my wife here in college. Her name's Faven. Shout out to my wife. She's the GOAT. We met in college, and we have 2 beautiful kids. She's from Northeast Africa, so she moved over to America when she was 14.
How was that with you guys? That's gonna be a culture difference between you
Yeah,
guys.
in the first beginning, she speaks English as a second language, so that was something to get used to. But man, she's so wonderful. Like,
If you get her really mad, does she default to her native tongue as she's yelling at you?
She does it a lot with our kids. She does it a lot
Really?
with our
That's
kids.
awesome.
Yeah.
I would
But-
almost appreciate that. It's like
Yeah.
next time you're gonna really rile on
Yeah,
me.
go into a language I don't
I
understand.
don't know.
Yeah.
Have you learned any of her?
I've
other language?
learned the basics.
Just the profanities.
I always so living overseas, I played professional basketball. I always learned the profanities.
Yeah,
that
of
was
course.
that was what I always wanted to know.
Is it because you wanted to use them, or you wanted to know when
I
someone's
wanted to know when somebody else was talking shit, and I also wanted to be able to respond,
Yeah.
right? That's the competitive nature in me.
Yep.
So I know a lot of my wife's language. I'm not fluent by any means, but yeah, man, the man that I am now, I'd be remiss if I didn't say it was in large part because of her.
When you
That's
left
cool.
Mizzou, you guys were already an item.
Oh yeah,
Did you get married?
We started dating the end of my freshman year.
Oh, wow.
And
so
so
we're 17 years in. We got
Congratulations.
engaged right after college, and
you went overseas.
She really gave me an ultimatum. She basically said, "I'm not going across the waters with you if if there's not a higher commitment." So I proposed to her, and we got married 2 years after the engagement. We've been together ever since.
I think that's a great story to share with your kids and a lot of the kids you work with, which is you need to make commitments and expect commitments from people and then hold them to it.
That's the biggest decision you make in your life, your partner.
Yeah.
So I've been very fortunate, man. She's an incredible woman.
She must give you a lot of room to go out and do all these things you're doing, too, because it draws you away from the house. And I know what that can be like, and it can be tough on everybody.
She does, man, but I also try to balance it the best way I can. Like, I didn't have an available father growing up, so at least biological father. Mm-hmm. So that was always my main thing. That's the reason why I didn't get into college coaching. I had multiple opportunities, but I wanted to be a part of my kid's life, so I decided to go
Why is that
somewhere else.
not possible as a college coach? Is it the travel?
It's possible. Don't get me wrong, and that's not a knock to any of my friends who are
Right,
coaches.
but just for you.
But yeah, it keeps you away from the house
Gotcha.
like a ton. You
I
know,
mean, you
like
gotta
summertime for coaches is key recruiting time, and that's when your kid's out of school. So you're not, it's really difficult.
Gotcha.
And because I didn't have, like I said, a stable father growing up, that was my priority. If I'm going to have kids, I'm going to be in my kid's life. So I had to figure out a different means to provide.
That's awesome.
And Camp Bowers has been a way for me to scratch that itch, being able to be around the game. And I also coached Missouri Phenoms 4th grade girls team. So, that gives me the opportunity. And my son, he's a baller. So I'm looking forward to working with him in the backyard. And, so life is good, man.
That's
I have no
awesome.
complaints.
How old is your son now?
He just turned 6.
So we got 9 and 6.
9 and 6.
And is your daughter attending the camp with you?
Oh, yeah. My kids they're diehard basketball.
That's
awesome.
awesome.
Yeah.
This is your 12th annual. I guess you guys probably had to take off during COVID, I'm sure, like everything else, right?
No, believe it or not, the camp, this sounds, I don't want to sound insensitive, but COVID was actually the best thing that ever happened to Camp Bowers.
Really?
Why?
Because
everyone was locked up at home?
Everybody was locked up at home. They couldn't do anything. And it just so happened to work out that we always do camp in July. That was when all of the restrictions and things were starting to come off. And we were able to have the camp. Every kid at my camps get their own basketball. We had sanitizers. So anytime someone had to touch somebody else's ball, we made them sanitize their hands.
Yeah.
We did it the right way, and camp doubled in size in the year of 2021.
See, I would never have known. Gets better, stays the same, goes away and dies forever. I heard a story from a business yesterday that said COVID, one of the things they were launching, which involved online, failed completely during COVID. I'm like, of all the things.
Yeah, of all the times.
And they didn't launch it because of COVID. It was just rolling out at that time. And you have no idea. And here, Camp Bowers took off during COVID.
Yeah, we went from, if I'm not mistaken, I think the most we had in camp prior to COVID was 225. We had 225 campers. That was wow. Look how big the camp has gotten. And after COVID, I think we went up to either 413 or 419.
That is awesome.
So, it was a sad time in the world, but it really helped propel Camp Bowers.
Yeah, you're probably reaching a limit space-wise to what you can actually bring on during Camp Bowers.
Believe it or not, man, we can actually take on more now because we use the Columbia Sports Fieldhouse out by Tolton. And there's 4 full courts that we've used for the last 6 years. Well, they just built another 4 courts.
Holy cow!
Right next to it.
They built it for you.
So if we really wanted to expand, we could.
That's awesome.
But then you lose a little bit of the quality, in my opinion, if I'm having to go 8 courts versus just 4. So our plan is to keep it the way we've been doing it.
You can control it and know what you're doing and make sure that you're really focused on these kids.
Exactly.
You have a bunch of coaches working with you. And that's got to be really important on how you select them, right?
Well, the University of Missouri has been incredible. The entire men's basketball team and the entire women's basketball team are my coaches.
Oh, wow.
And you don't get that at any other camp. So I'm very fortunate for their involvement and their partnership.
That's awesome.
But I also go out and hire athletes from Columbia College, from Westminster, Williamwood, all of the local colleges. I try to integrate as many other athletes as I can because I want my kids.
As a Columbia College graduate, appreciate that.
Yeah, man. I want the kids. I want the kids in my camp to actually be able to look up to the coaches and be like, man, I can actually be you, or I can be you. So, yeah, we hire a lot of people, and camp it's been going great.
I think basketball has changed. I'm sure everything has. We had bushels out there when I was playing. But I think the fundamental skills of a 8, 9, 10-year-old kid are much, much different today. I think they're being raised with the ability to think, hey, I can probably do this thing. I was bouncing a ball straight up and down, then grabbing with two hands. And if I wasn't doing a granny shot, I was just throwing it up toward. Today, if you're working with an 8, 9, 10-year-old kid, they've got some serious skills already, don't they?
Well, man, you got NIL being, paid to athletes 14 years old.
Holy cow!
Like, it's an insane time for the sport, for all sports. But yeah, the skill level nowadays. I mean, look, you got Victor Wembanyama, man, in the NBA. He's 7'5", and he plays like a guard. Like, come on, man. So it's definitely a different time that we're experiencing, and it's almost like if you don't get started at an early age, you might miss out.
Yeah.
Back when we were
don't include me.
Yeah.
I'm not the same.
Yeah, exactly. So back when I was young, man, you could start playing basketball in 7th, 8th grade and still be fine. But now if you're not playing at 6 years old and actually working on your game, you're going to get left behind.
And there's a love of basketball. One of the great things, maybe not as a professional.
It's the best sport in the world.
You're going to be in tremendous shape.
Yep.
And you can keep on playing it for years and years and years. I mean, the football I played in high school, guess what? You don't get to play anymore.
Yeah.
So once you stop it, you don't have pads anymore, you will never play that game
Well, modern
again.
medicine is also incredible now, right? Like an ACL injury back, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, that was career ending.
Yeah.
And now you got guys coming back from ACL surgery in 5 months. So Jason Tatum came back from an Achilles injury and was dunking and playing in the NBA. And it's like, man, did you even rehab?
Back in the day, if your Achilles went down, you were never playing
You're
again.
done.
They would tell you, you'll be able to walk, but if you try to play again, you will not be able to walk.
You're done.
You'll never play again.
It's heartbreaking.
I mean, it's really something. So you are starting off because you got the two camps. The original would be 8 to 10-year-olds and 11 to 16. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And then you've got the baby ballers also.
That's the cutest. That's the cutest camp in the whole state of Missouri, man.
Oh my gosh, baby ballers.
It's like herding cats, for real. We had to shorten that one. We had to do that for 2 days and for 3 hours each day because, man, it is really, really hard to keep their attention. At that age.
You're talking iPad babies.
Yeah, man.
They're so used to that.
Exactly. So, Baby Ballers is a very cute camp. Seeing them start at such a young age is awesome.
I got to tell you, man, there's a graphic you guys have, like a poster for Baby Ballers, lbosports.com. And there's a pic of you behind 4 players. And your hands extend from one player's outer shoulder to the last player's outer shoulder, and you're not even stretching to make it.
Yeah.
You look like a giant.
Well,
it's amazing.
I have a 7'1" wingspan, brother. So
that's what does it. But it's real. It's you guys. Your smile and their smiles. It's very real. You guys are having a great time together.
It's an awesome time, man. I look forward to it. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, but. We've been blessed with a lot of community support. We've taken on a few new sponsors who've made sizable contributions to the camp that allows kids to come for free.
You want to mention anybody this morning? You go right ahead.
Well, there's 2 in particular that are new. I could go down my list, and I mean it's extensive, but to the guys and the girls who've been with me since the beginning, thank you. We've obviously grown tremendously, but Ascentus Wellness and Health is a brand new health clinic that'll be opening this brick and mortar here in the next few weeks.
I mean, Dr. Chris over there.
Yeah,
Chris is a great guy.
Dr. Chris Main and Paul Scardina and Alyssa. Those are my people. So
that's great.
Thankful for their support. And then Legends Auto Spa.
Okay.
My guy Jeremy over there. He and I just struck a good rapport with one another. He's on board, and I mean, you have the VUs, the equipment shares, the MPICs, the True Sons of the world, the Lender Properties. I mean, we have so many, the Line Holdings. We have so many great sponsors who've been with us for so long, and we wouldn't be what we are without the support of those.
Well, I think they recognize the strength of a community is based on all of us working together.
Yeah.
And if we don't work together, there is no strength there. And the future just dies right in front of us. And so we all have to get involved, And that's why I talk about you being a part of the fabric of this community. And I think it's incredibly important to see more of that out there and to salute and celebrate someone like you when you're doing it.
Oh, man, thank you.
It just means so much. Let's talk about NIL and a little more in the professional ranks as well. First of all, NIL, you were there at the front of it, not as a player,
Right.
but as
I wish I was.
Yeah. But you had a front row seat on what it was looking like, and you must have known right there. You're like, this thing is a wild tornado that we got to try and tame and figure out.
Mm-hmm.
Have we figured it out by now? Do we know what the hell's going on?
No, they have not figured it out. I think it's a slippery slope for me, right? Like, because as a former player, I'm extremely happy for these guys and girls. I think that universities and businesses have used these guys and girls for so long with no compensation, right?
Yeah.
People always say, well, you get a free education, this, and this. Yeah, that's true, but that probably amounts to about $300,000 over the course of 4 years, whatever. And we make that for the university in one game, individually, right? So I'm
what a way to put that.
I'm a
into
huge
frame.
proponent. Yeah, I'm a huge proponent of NIL. I think it's very well warranted and necessary. I do think that there needs to be some type of limit and cap, though, because this has become professional sports at this point. You got guys making $9 million in a season. That's insane.
While they're in college.
Yeah. The kid that just signed with Kentucky is rumored that he's making $6 million.
Well, and you said there's as young as 14-year-olds.
They're not. The 14-year-olds are not making millions.
I know, but they're making money.
Yeah, they're getting paid.
That's
high school athletes in multiple states in America can start receiving NIL at ninth grade.
I mean, even at a slim fraction of those dollars you're talking about, are we still talking $30, $40, $120,000?
Oh yeah, you're talking 5-6 figures
for a 14, 15-year-old.
15-year-old kid.
Yeah.
They're making man money.
Oh yeah,
that's crazy.
Oh yeah, and it's scary because it's going back to having bad actors right in their ears. What type of circle they have. So
now contractually, they have to have their parent or guardian signing these contracts.
Bad actors.
Yeah,
going back to bad actors.
I think that's what he's talking about.
Damn, that is just a lot going on, man.
Yep. So
I'm so scared. Obviously, we want to focus on the positives, but that's terrifying. From if a parent is looking at their kid as a meal ticket of them sending them, hey, I'm gonna send them to Camp Bowers at 4. Because you better make that paper. You know what I mean? That's a little.
It's definitely happening, man.
Yeah.
And that's the part of it that I don't like, right? And then I'm a huge proponent of it, but I also hate the transactional relationships.
Yeah, I know.
Everything there's no loyalty. There's no, when I was here at Mizzou, man, I was here for 5 years. And I was with the same guys. Kim English, Marcus Denman, Steve Moore, myself, Jared Sutton. We all came in as babies. And we left as grown men. You know what I'm saying? And the university loved us because of it. Not because we were really good at basketball. It was because they actually felt like they knew us.
Yeah.
And you don't get that now.
Yeah.
We talk about, you mentioned transactional. You go from relational to transactional, and it's a completely different game. I think what you're talking about is possibly we need some sort of guardrails up on this thing. And correct me if I'm wrong. You said it's rumored that such and such is making such and such millions of dollars. Why is it all rumored? I almost feel like it'd be
Is it hidden or private?
I don't know, but I feel like it should be out there.
Yeah, especially if they're at a public institution.
Bingo.
Yeah.
You're at the University of Missouri, a state institution, and these people are enrolled as student athletes, and they're working for the university, which we can pull out the Blue Book. It actually used to be printed. I don't know if it still is, but in the Blue Book, you can go through every single position and person working for the state of Missouri.
No, it's just a PDF now, Tom.
Yeah. No, I think they still print it because it's the state. And
okay.
a bureau like that.
They might still print it, yeah.
They're still printing it. And you would look for everybody. You can find out why is this being done in some kind of shadow? I'm a little weirded out by that.
I'm not sure. With a lot of universities being public universities, they have to reveal what they're paying to employees and stuff like that. So I eventually think that they'll have to disclose what's being paid to athletes via revenue share, because that's coming directly from the university. So I think it's all sharing legitimate information is a taboo. I think it people look at it as like a one-up situation if I really know what somebody else is making. So I think the privacy behind it all kind of adds to the allure of recruiting as well. Like, people are, they can say, hey, well, I got offered this, and use it as leverage for another school. So that's what I think. I think there definitely needs to be some type of regulations stricter regulations.
Especially for these guys under 18.
Yeah, man.
That they might have parents that are cashing in on them.
Yeah, oh, for sure.
It's like child actors. Same concept.
Exactly.
They
exactly.
take all the money.
Take all the money, and I always
Poor
think about
Britney
like the Britney
Spears,
Spears. Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, good Lord. And like now she's, no offense, she's literally out of her mind.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, it's sad to see. So.
Which brings us to our next point, kids.
Yeah.
Don't do crack.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Really sad, man. It's a sad situation with her.
So when we look at what's going on in these universities, score of 1 to 100, 1 being the budget that's through the roof for these, going on. That's the number 1 budget being spent on let's say a basketball program. I don't know which program would that be. What's your top? Duke? Who spends the most money? Kentucky.
I'll probably say Kentucky.
So Kentucky's spending the most money.
Really?
Let's just say,
Yeah.
where does Mizzou fall in your estimation? Not based on anything you know behind the scenes, but just generally speaking, 25, 50?
I think Mizzou does well. I can't give you a number. I think Mizzou does very well, though.
You're not embarrassed by what we're spending.
I mean, we just got 2 McDonald's All-Americans.
Yeah.
That's a step in the right direction in a major way. And I think that's a credit to Tim Fuller, who they just brought back as GM last year. The guy's very well connected. I mean, and Dennis Gates. Everybody loves Dennis Gates.
Oh, God, he's lovable, man.
He's a great guy, and everybody gives him shit about March, which rightfully so, right? Like,
Right.
And he knows, he's a great friend of mine. He knows that he has to win. But I think people are invested in the program because they really feel like we're right there, right? Like I made this this comparison. I look at the finals, the New York Knicks, right? Like they've always been good, but they never got over the hump. And I think this year, I think they're going to win it.
And what is it, 25-year drought for them or something like that?
27, I believe.
27 year.
But my point is, I feel the same way about Mizzou. I feel like this is the most talented team on paper that Mizzou has had since your boy left.
If that is the case, then now more than ever, it's really riding on Coach Gates' shoulders.
1,000%.
It's up to him to make this thing happen. What I like about our past season, by the way, is all I really ask for the love of everything sacred, is to contend.
Yeah.
I want to know that tonight there's a chance Tigers take it to the court and might be able to win.
Yeah.
And when you lose that, and we lose hope in anything in life, it just kind of loses its flair.
Yeah. Well, we're a college town. I mean, we all are so deeply invested and rooted in Mizzou. That when it's a bad season, it feels like life is over, right?
Right.
And what's crazy is Dennis Gates has only had 1 bad year. He's been here for 4, made the NCAA tournament 3 times. The year we went 0-18 in SEC, that was an anomaly. That'll never happen again. Like
Thank you.
I really believe, in my lifetime I won't ever see Mizzou go 0-18 in conference.
Was that the first year, though?
That was his second year.
Yeah, okay.
And but beyond that, I mean, they've been good years. They haven't been great years, but they've been good years, and that's why I feel like we're destined this upcoming season to have one of those years that is for the books.
I'm with you on that. I think he's righted the ship. I think we're past that that anomaly year, and so we're to the point now that I think we know what he's capable of, and he can at least do what he did this year again in the coming season.
Yep.
But wouldn't it be great to go a little deeper into March?
Oh, man, it'd be incredible.
All the way through. And, I've been down to Nashville for the SEC tournament.
That's a good time.
It is a really good time, but not when your team falls out in the first game.
That is correct.
And you're wearing your black and gold as I am today, and you're walking around going, oh, boy, I think I'll just put on a jean jacket today. I am in Nashville.
There's a lot of black and golds. Couldn't you just put a different logo on real quick?
You could almost, in Nashville. You got,
I'm going to get shot when I walk
out. You got the Commodores there. Lawrence Bowers, you really are a gift to all of us.
You,
and I want to tell you that from being an older guy, to be able to look at someone that is at least a full generation younger than me.
I just turned 36. You could be my dad.
Well, you're correct there.
Not as short as he is.
Well, no. Your genetics and my genetics don't match at all.
You don't want to see what happened with that one. But no, we have kids from 33 to 41. Yeah. So yeah, you're a generation, and for me to be able to look and see what you're doing.
You could be my dad because I'm 41
yeah.
too.
And by the way,
I'm fired.
Wow.
Ellis, I am your father. No, you bring a breath of fresh air,
Thank
right?
you,
when we think about the future, we need more people like you engaging and doing.
Appreciate it.
And I still can't believe with your upbringing that you have this level of control, common sense, inquisitive nature that you bring to the table, and you're going to go on doing that. And I don't have any idea what the next 20 to 30 years of your career are going to be like, but they're going to be amazing.
Yeah, I'm going to work hard.
The only reason people are going to remember you playing basketball is because of your height, for the love of God. Because they're going to remember you for everything else you're doing.
That's the plan.
Yeah.
That's the plan, man. I was telling somebody the other day that life has been way more fruitful for me outside of basketball than it was when I was in basketball. So, no, that means a lot to me, Tom, to hear that. And Ellis, I appreciate you guys because, being able to come on shows like this, you guys have a great platform. And for me to be able to come over here and promote and advertise Camp Bowers, that is also a part of why we're able to be continuously successful and growing. So just want to say thank you to you guys as well.
Absolutely.
Do you have,
get the kids off the iPad and get them to Camp Bowers.
Do you have any openings still left?
Yeah, we have openings. I highly recommend people to go ahead and get it done, though. Because once we hit a certain number, we're going to have to stop it.
And they actually register on the lbosports.com,
yeah,
right?
lbosports.com.
lbosports.com.
Once you go to the homepage, it'll have Camp Bowers up top and Baby Ballers. Just click on those. It's pretty self-explanatory. And so we do have spots, but they're going to go away fast.
The elbowsports.com. Thank you so much, Lawrence Bowers, and keep everything up that you're doing. I'm just, God, you make me feel great today.
Oh, man, I appreciate you. Thank you, guys.
Really cool, really cool. What a great conversation, man.
Yeah, man.
I need more of this in my life.
Yep.
You know, what happens when I got stuck on and nothing against the people behind it, but like the Real Columbia Facebook page.
Yeah.
And I start thinking and focusing like, life's hell, the world's hell.
Yep.
It's going to hell if it isn't there already.
Yep.
Like, no, there's a lot of great things happening, and we got to remind ourselves that.
Yeah.
It's just.
And you mentioned it. You said the exact thing. Like, there's a lot of folks that are just losing hope. You know what I mean? Like stuff like Camp Bowers, stuff like.
Yes.
You see how tall he is. It's ridiculous. We need those moments of hope because otherwise we shut down. Like literally, we just shut down physically, physiologically, everything.
I'm gonna hit this, and we need to have a show on this coming up. You mentioned a couple of times today, like what'd you call them? iPad kids?
iPad kids, yeah.
So I got into a conversation with Jessie Marie, who is at the house this week with little Chancellor, and we're having a blast together. And she's worked with children that need special help for a number of years now. She's tremendously educated, experienced, and gifted in working with these kids. And so whenever we're talking about kids and their development and stuff, we get into it. Well, I was catching a video the other day, and I watch long-form videos. If you start editing videos because someone says and you take out all the I won't watch it.
Oh, wow.
I can't handle it. Show me real people.
Right.
And if it's not real, I don't want a piece of that crap at all. And I'm watching this, and a woman is explaining some of the problems with the different social media sites and going through the problems from Facebook through Instagram and TikTok and what's going on. And it comes to me that I'm like, I don't know how these kids are even able to function. So what happens when they're watching something and like, this isn't funny, this isn't funny, this isn't interesting, nothing. They keep swipe. And then they see something that's good and it fires them up. When I say good, I don't mean like holy. I mean, it's interesting. And it fires
engaging.
them up. They said it's like a slot machine. They're playing the slots.
That's exactly what it is.
Well, I've watched people play the slots, which I don't ever play, and I've watched them, and they sit there bored to death, almost a vegetable. Ching, 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 pull the lever. Ching, 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 pull the lever, and they just sit there.
They're waiting for that dopamine hit.
And that's it. And we're raising kids that are doing this. And all you've got, I know. I'm preaching to the choir because if people understand this, they're already making sure that their kids, but you've got to get involved. So anyway, I'd like to bring an expert on the show.
Oh, yeah, I would love that.
And talk about these things and really get into it.
It's so important. I mean, they're talking about the degradation of attention span, the inability to focus, all of these things, and it really is an addiction issue. Like we've talked about how some people can kick addiction, some people can't. It's the exact same thing with social media, with videos and all that kind of stuff. Like we will do like YouTube pauses, and I've banned certain channels from our home. I'm just like, you're not watching these people because you can see it's just self-aggrandizing. Like we're very focused on educational content for the most part. I was like, I want you to learn something, and it's so funny to say this, but there's a lot of YouTube channels where I'm just like, we're just not doing this because like I said, it's just vapid self-aggrandizing. You're not learning anything. It's just idiots being idiots. And I was like, I never thought, but I was like, you have to watch something on Netflix, you have to watch something on Disney, because at least I know there was intentionality and purpose behind that creation,
Well,
right?
and I appreciate that. That's not going to be the end all.
Right.
But what you're doing is you're actually weighing out, you're being judicious
Right.
about what you're seeing out
Right.
there and what's available. And what's really important is to understand, sometime in the last about 30 years or so, parents got to the point that they were like, it's just so hard.
Yeah.
And you know what? They're a child. They need to find their way. It's like, no, they
No.
are developing.
Right.
You're like, well, they're 13. It's like, oh my God.
Yeah.
They're now more dangerous than ever
Yes.
to themselves.
Yes.
And you've got to help them
Yep.
form and grow. And you said educational.
Right.
Now that sounds boring, and you sound stereotypical of like a 60-year-old guy saying such a thing.
Yep.
Here's
I've
the
got the
problem.
hairline to prove it.
Thank you. Here's the problem. If we don't educate them,
Right.
they can't make good choices
Exactly.
on their own.
Exactly.
All they're doing is playing the slot machines by the time they're 18 months old.
Yep.
And they learn to do that really early on. And if you want to get mad at Instagram or at Apple or anything that said intuitively they're working on our kids, they're feeding them and what have you, you can be mad all you want. It's not their responsibility to raise your kids. It's yours.
Yep. Their
And you're
job
gonna
is to
hate
make
me
their
saying it.
shareholders happy.
That's
Their
it.
job is to increase the engagement. If the product is free, you're the product. And that is really what it boils down to. And I mean, we'll catch hate for this, but I have a almost 15-year-old, a just turned 13-year-old. They don't have phones, and my freaking 9 and 5-year-old definitely don't have phones, and they're not going to have phones
I don't think you're
until
going
they
to get
can
any hate
drive.
for that. You're actually making a decision that puts your kids in a place where they go, oh, their shoulders slump. They go, oh. It's like, oh, that's the worst thing you got going
Yeah.
on?
Well, and honestly, it's great. I really can't take the credit for this. Like, I am blown away by my children, and the mother they have is a phenomenal woman. I hope she's listening this morning. But I don't know if they've just picked this up from osmosis from us or whatever, but they're seeing in the society, and like they're kind of suffering from being around these other iPad kids. Like, we'll go to events and stuff like that, and I'll see my kids like sitting, reading a book, or like trying to talk to people, and there will just be a row of kids with their faces stabbed in these phones that have no way to communicate with each other. And I feel kind of bad for my kid because I'm like, they're almost getting like ostracized because they're not like, oh, did you see? Oh, did you see? Oh, did you see? And like they're trying to like talk to somebody, and they're like, I don't know how.
And they don't know how to do it. And
yeah.
we're graduating kids today from college
Yeah.
that have the inability to network, to communicate, to make new acquaintances.
Yep.
They have zero idea.
Yeah.
Not only can they not walk up to someone and introduce themselves, they can't receive the introduction
Yeah.
properly. And we were talking about it with experts. I was listening to a guy 3 weeks ago talking about, and these are kids who are 22, 23 years old, and they lack the ability. When I was 20,
It's gonna have to be like a college class. Like we've had public speaking
Yeah.
as college classes for years. It's gonna have to be like intrapersonal relationships,
We
how to
will.
talk.
I think when I was 23, I think we already had our second child by then. So that gives you an idea of where I was. Anyway.
At home.
And yeah, I wish more than I was, but yes. And I
Yep.
think this discussion coming off of having someone like Lawrence Bowers in here, who's in the middle of raising young kids on his
Yep.
own, he and his wife, that they're in the middle of doing it together at this time. And you see someone who's engaged and caring
Yep.
and putting on Camp Bowers.
And breaking
which, by the way,
generational curses.
at
He's like,
camp-
his dad wasn't there, he's gonna be.
And at Camp Bowers, I have no idea if they show any videos of the kids, which would be fine as an instrument of education. But the reality is they're not there to watch videos.
Right.
They're engaging physically,
Yeah.
mentally, and spiritually.
With other kids too.
Yep. and with adults who are putting their time and
Yeah.
effort into helping them. All right. I know we got to wrap up, so let's move to one of our favorite segments
Yeah.
every week.
Are you ready? You gotta keep your eyes on the crap.
You can't handle the crap.
Looky here, there's a big difference between shit and shinola.
As my great-grandfather always said, Matumba, keep your eye on the crab.
All right, keeping your eye on the crap with our wonderful friends at Family Focus Eye Care. I do have my reading glasses with me, but I got to tell you something. This is going out to Dr. Rich. Hey, Dr. Rich, I'm cheating. I made all the font bigger on my...
Hang on, I'm gonna come over here and look.
You wanna see it?
I'm gonna-
I know.
24-point Times New Roman.
It's pretty good.
I don't need my readers when it's one word per screen.
Well, I'm controlling this, so I'm like, why in the hell am I working it? But I've got the readers all the time. Thank you, Family Focus Eye Care, and they've got their big anniversary event and introduction of the new location of Rituva Medical Spa, their sister company, and now they're also next door neighbor over on Scott Boulevard. And
Is that like sister or like hot cousin? Like what?
Well, with Rituva, they're getting hotter.
Yeah, that's right.
They are getting hotter. And that big event coming up on Saturday, the 18th, so you got 2 weeks from this Saturday, and we'll talk more about it next week. Keeping your eye on the crap. We've talked about it at the City of Columbia level. I'm going to go to the Columbia Public Schools level this time, and I read from KMIZ, Columbia Public Schools to dip into reserves to cover deficit spending. When you have an institution, a political body, an agency, a bureaucracy, a bureau that decides to dip into their reserves to cover deficit spending, you have to say why.
Yeah.
And is that a good way to operate? After all, having the protection of the reserves makes some sense. What are the reserves there for? When we decide to spend more than we're bringing in, when we have to spend more than we're bringing in, when we're not fiscally accurate and balancing the books. They're proposing $390 million budget for this upcoming school year. $390 million. And that's altogether the operating budget.
So this isn't a one-time thing. This isn't like we have to build a building, we have to dip into the reserves. This is the yearly budget we're planning for. We don't have enough money for.
So if you look at the operating budget, which doesn't talk about some of the other capital improvements, $309 million is what they'll bring in their what we refer to as revenue. I mean, it's all tax-based, right?
Yeah.
But $309 million. But they will spend $321 million. So it's almost $12 million. There's some points in here. It's almost $12 million in reserves that they will spend. And I read from KMIZ, officials say the district intentionally built up reserves in recent years, specifically to help absorb the cost of opening new schools and other one-time needs. However, this doesn't match up with the $390 million that's going on. So I think it's not just a borrowing from one year to pay off a different year. I think they're also mixing numbers and reasons, and they're tossing some word salad.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm telling you to keep your eye
on the crap.
On the crap.
Yeah.
And how are the scores doing with our students? And if you don't bring that up on a regular basis, it may get on your nerves that I keep on bringing it up. But I think more importantly than you or me is the school board bringing it up on a regular basis. You know,
Do they? I mean, I'm completely ignorant of this because I completely keep our kids at home.
It's everything else. I've worked for companies before where they walk in first thing in the day. How'd we do with billing yesterday? How'd we do with the accounts receivable? Where's sales today? Where's sales? What's going on with sales? I want to hear that thing. Remember, people, once again today, we're selling and we're building and we're making money. It's a business. That's what we do.
Yeah.
How are we doing today? Where are we? And people are like, well, we've got a new break room coffee flavor. I'm sorry, what?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, what? Is the school board bringing up student scores? How are we doing with the one goal, the number one goal, the reason we have public schools, which is to educate children? And if they don't bring that up every time they walk in the room, then we've got a problem.
Like, it's literally your only job.
That is it's the number one job, is to educate kids.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem if you say the number one thing we have to do today is make sure that we're safe. I get that because we can't take care of the priority, which is educating kids.
Right.
And if you say we have to take care of the emotional being of the child so we can educate them, I understand that too. But don't ever get lost in everything else and forget, how are we doing with our actual reason to exist, which is to educate children. With that, we will go ahead and do our little fadeaway. All right. I love getting to the end of this thing and just sharing a big bucket of what I'm thinking about. And there you go. And I think some people will get on their nerves. Like, why does Tom have to keep talking about academic scores? Because I have to. All right, Ellis. Let's get out of here.
Let's go.
Thank you, Karen, for coming out and talking about musicbeagle.com. And follow musicbeagle.com to follow the live music, including at the dive bar. My friends, live this day as if it were your last.